successful indie author, 5-minute focus, episode 194, swearing. And this is a bad language alert, so please turn off your speakers. Don't be watching this at work. Keep it close hold, and you've been warned. I said shut off your fucking speakers. All right, swearing. If you don't swear, then no need to listen to this episode if you don't put it in your writing. But if you do, this one's for you, bitch. All right, spice to be used sparingly. Don't overuse it, and just don't overuse any word. Like say you love ubiquitously. Well, don't put it in every other paragraph. And let's get our swear words right. Okay, you're sitting there watching TV, and your team throws a pass, it gets intercepted, and you say fuck, and your little 3-year-old says fuck and is all happy, and you start laughing. Well, no shit. It's funny. It's funny when little toddlers swear just until they start doing it a lot. Well, your wife immediately looks over and says, "You asshole." And now the little kid, hey, he's got a new word, asshole. And what do you do? I mean, you didn't teach the little shit that word, but your wife's still mad at you because you taught him the first one. And so you go into the fucking kitchen to talk about it, and you see how that works. Narrative, right? It adds no value. So this is why I emphasize dialogue and not necessarily narrative. There's fucking kitchen. Why? There's no reason for that there. It adds no value. It's like sticking in ubiquitously when just because it's a cool word and not because it's really necessary. So you get in the kitchen and your wife wants to talk about that little shit you have out in the living room, and it's not like he's a bastard or anything. You know where he came from, and you're kind of proud when your wife calls you a fucker. You're like, oh yeah, motherfucker, yeah, that's me. I don't know why it's an insult because hey, that's me. How are all kids formed? Anyway, thinking about that. So, like I said, I've been working on this episode for a while. There's so much swearing to go over. So, bitch. I mean, what is the problem with that word? People bitch. Someone is a bitch. It doesn't matter gender. That's a gender neutral term, if you ask me. And that one is okay. Once again, in dialogue, don't throw it out there everywhere. A term that's common in UK, Australia is cunt. Not one I ever use. So I don't put it in any of my books because I don't really get how you work it in there. Twat, now a twat waffle. Can you say twat waffle? I mean, it's a great word. It's a great approach to something that you don't even want to argue with. It's the rhetoric destroyer. Can you say twat waffle? The getting your swearing right as a Marine, if you want to make it realistic for Marines talking in the field, junior Marines, they start talking and they're going to say fuck like every sentence. And so once again, overuse. So there's a certain amount of reality that you have to dispense with to make it readable. Because if you record a couple junior enlisted, any of the services talking, you're going to get something that is it's not anything that you want to replicate in writing because of the repetitive nature of the swearing that adds no value and makes conversations way longer than they need to be because there's all kinds of excess words scattered in there. It's like putting paprika on your pancakes. I mean, it's just something we're not going to do, right? So you go through your words and you find ones that you like, and then you got to get that repetition right, like shit weasel. Shit weasel is a great word. Like fuck nugget. Why not? These are terms you can use in dialogue because they sound great and they're awesome, like cockwomble. I mean, give the Brits some credit. And use it sparingly. Like I said, I have swearing warnings on my blurbs for books that have swearing in them, and then I don't put that on books that are clean, and I make it clear to my readership, hey, these are clean. This one has spicy language, and it's okay. I'm working for different ones, but you don't want to turn readers off, and this is why I don't recommend using swearing in narrative because that's your narrative. That's where you have to hit the readers with here's what's going on, scene setup, scene development. Without it adds no value to throw in cursing in those scenes unless you're really trying to make a point. Like I was talking earlier, fucking kitchen, right? Well, if you're retiling the floor and it's not going right, well then fucking kitchen really is an emphatic point that you want to make. Bitch, bastard, shit, just so much opportunity there when you use sparingly. I do a word search at the end to see how often I've used it, especially in my books that I throw it in where they use it a lot within the dialogue, and I still don't have that many. I might have a dozen F-bombs. I might have shit in there 3 or 4 times is all. And another one is damn it. Now, if you go the full term, it's God damn it, right? But you say God damn it, you might turn off people who are okay with swearing, but they still have a religious slant and aren't cool with the overall emphasis of it. So I don't use that. I use damn it and just DAMMIT. And there we go. It's an innocuous term and for emphasis. Always keep in point you're emphasizing things. You're trying to make highlights, and that's what they are. That's the right spice at the right time to deliver the right emotional impact, and then you move on. And that's why I don't recommend putting it in narrative. All right, people, that's enough about swearing. We're not going to swear anymore today just because. Peace, fellow humans.